So we have so many things that are clearly this colossal crisis that we're dealing with here, but there's so much other bullshit and insanity going on that nobody even bothers to discuss the various crises that we're dealing with. So one of those is, of course, this thing called brain drain. Basically, the United States is no longer the destination for the best and the brightest to come to study and do their scientific research and medical research. And it's because now we have the ICE Gestapo thugs, and they've rounded up innocent people and thrown them in concentration camps or kicked people out of this country who deserve to be in this country. And so people are reevaluating, and they're going, don't really want to end up in CCOT where I get raped and tortured. So I think I'm going to not go to the U.S. I'm not going to, do all my research there, do my studies there. And look, that's a disaster, because we actually did have, and this is something I took for granted, but we did have this like robust system where many of the best and the brightest came to study, right? And it literally in one fell swoop, Trump and Elon, they just destroyed it. They destroyed it. So that's one massive crisis. Another massive crisis is the absolute, utter collapse, the collapse of U.S. tourism. It is horrific. We discussed the other day, I watched a documentary on this the other day, that Las Vegas is just done. It's over. It's a wrap. Like, now they are specifically trying to target the top 1% demographic. Maybe at most you stretch that out to the top 10%, but really it's more like the top 1% demographic. Regular people just can't afford to go anymore to Las Vegas. The prices are just way too expensive. The whole city now is just geared towards the ultra rich. And this is what happens when you have, they call it the K-shaped economy. It's the new Gilded Age. It's the new Gilded Age. Income and wealth inequality is worse than the Gilded Age. And so there's like two different worlds that we're living in here, right? And so that's just one example, but tourism has just like collapsed there. But across the whole country, this is happening. So take a look at this from the New York Times. 11 million visitors short inside America's continuing tourism slump. Last year, the U.S. was the only major destination to see a decline in international travelers. With increased scrutiny at the border, ICE violence, and unpredictable policies, the new year isn't looking better. Ladies and gentlemen, 11 million visitors short. That's not a whoopsie. That's a message from the world. We don't like you, we see what you're doing, and we want nothing to fucking do with it. Okay? So they say, Michelle Cowley, a London-based communications specialist, and her husband spent nearly 2 years planning a $16,000 vacation to Walt Disney World in Florida. Then their children, aged 7 and 11, heard about Renee Good and Alex Preddy being killed by ICE agents and didn't want to go. Comments by President Trump in January including threats to annex Greenland and criticisms of British military contributions in Afghanistan, sealed the family's decision. Quote, "We have decided that it really is not the place we want to be at the moment," Ms. Cowley said. Last year, as tourism grew worldwide, the United States was the only major destination to see a decline in foreign visitors, recording a 6% drop, according to the World Travel Tourism Council, an industry group. January saw a continued decline in inbound visitors, down 4.8% from January 2025. Visitors from Canada, usually the second largest source of U.S. tourism after Mexico, plunged by 28% in January compared to 2024. So our closest allies, Trump is going, fuck you. Fuck you. And the allies are going, how about fuck you right back, dog? We don't need to go to your shitty country. Fuck your shitty country. What a massive 28% decline. Other key markets like Germany and France also recorded significant declines, while Britain, the largest long-haul source market for U.S. tourism, saw a marginal growth of 0.5% compared to the previous year. I guess the Brits are close to as fascist as we are. When 11 million international visitors aren't showing up, the result is billions of dollars in economic losses to the travel industry, said Eric Hansen, a senior vice president at the U.S. Travel Association, a trade group that promotes travel to and within the country. Visa fees and social media vetting. The Trump administration has made it significantly harder for some travelers to enter the United States, barring visitors from more than a dozen countries and introducing a $250 visa integrity fee for non-immigrant tourist and business visas designed to discourage visitors from overstaying. Visitors are also facing more rigorous vetting at the border with increased searches of electronic devices, some resulting in detentions and denied entry. Citizens of countries who just need an electronic authorization to visit the United States may soon be required to provide up to 5 years of social media history. Are you kidding me? To enter. That could result in a loss of up to $15.7 billion in visitor spending, according to the World Travel and Tourism Council. Quote, "These are the kinds of measures you expect from China or countries in the Middle East, not from America." Honestly, I wouldn't even expect that from China or countries in the Middle East. That's insane. Felicity Morgan, 49, a British trade auditor who lives between Amsterdam and London, referring to detentions at airports linked to social media screenings for content deemed critical of the government or a risk to national security. Last month, she canceled a trip to Miami for her friend's 50th birthday because she didn't want to risk losing thousands of dollars if she was denied entry. And then we get to this. With the United States set to host the FIFA World Cup this summer and major events lined up around the country's 250th anniversary and the Route 66 centennial, 2026 has the potential to reverse the negative trend line, said Mr. Hansen. So they're going to rely on these big, massive one-time events in order to try to, say, hey, everything's normal, everything's actually great. But that's the thing. Can we be honest here? They definitely should not have the World Cup here. It would be insane if they go through with having the World Cup here. When you see what ICE is doing to innocent people in Minnesota, when you see they murdered 2 American citizens in broad daylight, they murdered them for observing ICE legally. They're going into places without a warrant. They're violating people's constitutional rights. There is no way this country should be rewarded for what's going on here. They absolutely should take the FIFA World Cup out of the United States of America. It's not even a question. But guess what? FIFA is massively corrupt, just like Donald Trump. So I'm sure they're not going to do it. And if there's problems, hey, that's on you. Hey, that's got nothing to do with them. Initial projections from Oxford Economics, the global economic advisory firm, forecast a 3.9% growth in international inbound travel, a modest gain that would not recoup the decline since the start of the second Trump administration. Jesus Christ. So even with those huge events, they said it would still overall be down with his time in office. Quote, ongoing policy uncertainty and enforcement actions from the Trump administration are likely to limit gains, leaving the U.S. at risk of underperforming other international destination markets again this year. The World Cup is expecting to draw millions of soccer fans to 11 U.S. cities this summer. Still, some members of the global soccer community, including the former FIFA president Sepp Blatter, have joined calls to boycott the event in response to violence by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Brand USA, a nonprofit destination marketing organization partially funded by the federal government, said 2026 represents a once-in-a-generation opportunity to showcase the best of the United States. Are you fucking kidding me? With this regime, not a chance. The year's events make the nation an attractive draw for global travelers, and we invite visitors to experience all this year has to offer, Fred Dixon, the organization's president, said in an email. Look, this is a joke. This is an absolute fucking joke. Tourism is plummeting. Everybody hates the United States of America now. And you know what? They're right. They're right. When Trump is launching a trade war against everybody, including our top allies, okay? When Trump is making it so everybody wants to drop the dollar worldwide, when Trump is threatening not only enemy countries, which is bad enough, because why are we threatening, even enemy countries, but when he's threatening, to annex Greenland, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Let's stop pretending like this isn't the Fourth Reich. We armed and funded a genocide in Gaza done by Israel, okay? Now they're trying to expand, they're trying to starve Cuba to death and steal Cuba as well for the Epstein class, the billionaire pedophiles. They want to make it their playground again like it was back in the day under Batista. Can we just call it what it is? This is fascism. This is imperialism. They're open about it. Trump is stealing Venezuela's oil and putting the money in his own private bank account. Are we really going to sit here and pretend like we haven't seen this throughout history? Like this isn't fascism? Like this isn't imperialism? Like this isn't the Fourth Reich? Because, motherfucker, this is the Fourth Reich. And this is going to go down. Having these events here, these international events here, will go down in history exactly like the Olympics that was held in Nazi Germany. Exactly how that will be viewed. I'm telling you right now. So they should cut it off. They won't, because FIFA is, like I said, very corrupt. But even the 250th anniversary shit for the U.S. now, that shit is tainted now. It's tainted because this is the guy who tried to steal the 2020 election. This is the guy who is going to try to steal the midterms and 2028. He's destroying everything that's good about this country. Everything. And then we're supposed to act like, oh yeah, let's celebrate all the good things about this country. Why? He ruined them. So, what are we celebrating? Are we celebrating that we just went full fascist? That's what it feels like these celebrations are going to be about. I can't fucking, this shit is absurd. And, you know what? I just have nothing but sheer seething hatred for, the J.D. Vances of the world, the Tulsi Gabbards, the people, you fucking know better. You know better. You know the brain drain is stupid and bad and wrong, and they shouldn't have done it. They shouldn't have cut all the funding for scientific research and medical research. You know that, of course there was going to be this massive tanking in tourism to this country because they're saying to the world, hey, fuck you. We actually don't want you here, and we hate you, and maybe you'll get sent to a concentration camp if you show up and we're in a bad mood. Right? So you all know better. So stop fucking lying to everybody and acting like everything's great and everything's all right and everything's wonderful. It's not. So it's the dishonesty and the gaslighting that's just the cherry on top, where I just can't fucking stand these people. But there you have it, bro. It's collapsing. It's collapsing, and everybody hates America. And even with these big international events happening here, it's still going to be, like they said, overall down compared to when Trump's not in office. That shows you just how disgusting he is and how much the world has moved on past us. And guess what? It's going to happen next when it comes to economics too. We will be alienated, we will be isolated, and it's going to be a rap ski. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anything anybody can do, even if we get a good president next, because they will never trust the U.S. again, because they'll look at it like the entire Republican Party has lost their goddamn mind. And how do we know that they won't come in and fuck shit up immediately again? And guess what? They probably will, so they're not wrong. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.